you doing good business. If I'm easy work, I heard him say I'm easy work. If I was easy work, you would take all that money that he's offering you.
Terence Crawford responded sharply to Canelo Alvarez after being referred to as an easy opponent. Crawford asserted that it's Canelo who's hesitant to step into the ring with him. As the WBO welterweight champion, Crawford dismissed Canelo's comments about size and credibility, pointing out that Canelo has fought smaller opponents throughout his career, including Floyd Mayweather, Amir Khan, and Jermall Charlo. Crawford argued that Canelo's excuses are baseless, emphasizing that a fight between them would be lucrative and beneficial for both. This exchange reflects the larger debate over whether Canelo truly seeks out the toughest challenges in boxing.
Use Canelo name to promote nothing. Anytime they ever gave me any question about Canelo, I shut it down. Just like, I'm pretty sure he'll shut it down. I'm focused on Belair. That's what he's going to say. Anytime I don't want to talk about Canelo, I don't want to speak about Canelo, I'm worried about one person. So for him to say we had to use his name.
Oscar De La Hoya criticized Canelo's demand for $150 million to fight Crawford, accusing him of pricing himself out. He agreed with Saudi Boxing Federation President Turki Al-Sheikh, who also called out Canelo's high demands.
Making Canelo Crawford, maybe Virgil Crawford, if Virgil gets past.
Absolutely. I think, look, the one thing that I respect about Your Excellency and Turkey is he wants to make the best fights. That's basically it. And a lot of fighters, they outprice themselves, therefore the fans lose, and we can't watch those fights. But now Turkey's coming in, paying money, but he's not paying absurd amounts of monies that fighters are not, worth. He's being reasonable. He's paying premiums, but perfect example is Canelo wanting $200 million to fight against Crawford. In other words, that means he doesn't want to fight.
Oscar further questioned why Canelo avoids fighting David Benavidez, claiming that Canelo is dodging beneficial fights. He credited Al-Sheikh for attempting to make meaningful matchups and accused Canelo of hindering the progress of boxing.
Million for Benavidez, and he want 150 million to fight me. So that just lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to his legacy, because it would be crazy for a guy that started at 135 to come all the way up to 168. Your weight, no catch weight, no none of that, and dethrone you. So, he got that in the back of his head. This guy, for one, he's tough. For two, he's a boxer. He moves. He can punch. He can do it all. I can't slip up and lose to this little guy. Then what will my fans think of me? What will my
Despite his critiques, Oscar admitted that Canelo's size and power would likely be too much for Crawford. After watching Crawford's performance against Israil Madrimov, Oscar expressed doubts about Crawford's chances, noting the difficulty smaller fighters face against skilled, larger opponents.
Terence Crawford versus Canelo.
As I tell before to the ESPN, I give him the offer. If he's smart, he will accept it.
Turki Al-Sheikh criticized Canelo's dismissal of potential collaborations, calling him out for avoiding tough opponents like Crawford and Benavidez. Al-Sheikh highlighted Canelo's history of taking easier fights and stated that his focus remains on creating significant matchups for the boxing world. In response, Canelo dismissed Al-Sheikh's comments, asserting that the Saudis must adhere to his terms. Al-Sheikh fired back, accusing Canelo of making excuses to avoid challenging fights. Crawford believes Canelo sees him as a threat to his legacy, noting that Canelo's financial demands for fights indicate his reluctance. Many analysts agree that the size and power difference would make a Crawford-Canelo bout challenging, but they also praise Crawford's willingness to take risks.
Said that he would be willing to pay whatever you want to fight Crawford.
Fine.
Yeah.
If he's willing to pay whatever I want, comes down.
That'll work. And so yeah, you're in. So if the numbers were right with Crawford, you'll do it.
Why not? Why not? I
Mhm.
think Crawford don't get me wrong. He's a great fighter.
Mhm.
But for me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight. For
Mhm.
me, easy money. So if the money is right, I'm in, because I don't like to fight guys like Crawford, because he move a lot and the fight is not that great.
Mhm.
I saw Crawford the last fight, and he don't move that much now. So if the money is right, I'm in. Why not?
Various commentators, including Lou DiBella and Mario Lopez, suggested that Crawford should avoid fighting at 168 pounds and instead focus on solidifying his position at 154 pounds. They believe that facing Canelo would be a step too far.
Trouble when he fights Canelo, I'll tell you right now. No. After that, I don't think so. I mean, hey, Vandermo's a badass dude, though. He's a badass dude. The whole night was great, though. Good to see you.
Sparring partners and analysts like Kieran Davis and Evander Holyfield emphasized the difficulty Crawford would face due to the size and power disparity, suggesting that Crawford would need a flawless performance to have a chance against Canelo.
Vi 3 divisiones bastante libres, demasiadas, yo diría. Pienso que no es algo que él lo necesita ahora mismo. Crawford en su carrera ha demostrado que es un buen peleador, pero pienso que no tiene que estar corriendo esos grandes riesgos, porque no solamente pone su carrera en riesgo, también pone su vida, porque un golpe de Canelo le puede hacer daño de por vida.
I don't think Crawford needs the Canelo fight right now. I think it's kind of needless for Crawford, because his reputation is well cemented, and a punch by Canelo could not only be dangerous for him to lose the fight, but it would be dangerous for his life. So no need for Crawford to cross the line into such a heavy weight class.
Gracias, campeón. Thank you.
Bernard Hopkins questioned the wisdom of Crawford pursuing a fight with Canelo, advocating for safer and more meaningful matchups. He suggested that Crawford consider fights against Virgil Ortiz or other top contenders in his weight class.
And with that fight, what do that fight do for Canelo fighting Crawford, and Crawford beats Canelo? What do that do for Canelo? I just think that there are so many other fights to make that's realistic, it makes sense, and less life-risking.
Boxing analysts such as Paulie Malignaggi advised Crawford to stay at 154 pounds and focus on challenges within the division, citing his age and the competitiveness of the weight class.
Displayed last week and a half, but Crawford, to me, I believe, won the fight. I believe the fight could have won a draw, so you can't look at that fight and say that he's there for pickings, that his time is running out. We get up for certain fights at that level, and sometimes it can be not as good as the one that you got up for, which was Earl Spence. So I'm not fooled by what people might be saying about Crawford, whether it's time, whether it's not. Nah, I say he gets up for fights that he gets up for, and he at that age where it takes something super exciting to get excited about. I would like to see Virgil, based on this Saturday, how he looks, how he executes, and how he wins. That it gives me a blueprint to see, yeah, he won, but will he win this way with Crawford?
The possibility of a Canelo-Benavidez fight remains a hot topic. Critics argue that Canelo has avoided the matchup despite public demand. Floyd Mayweather and others believe facing Benavidez would cement Canelo's legacy as one of the best.
He keeps saying, if the money's right, so I think the money will be right, eventually. It depends which route Canelo goes, though. It sounds like Terence Crawford, the Saudis want to make that fight happen, so if he fights Crawford, then I think it'll be less likely he'll fight Benavidez. But, yeah, hopefully David gets it. I think he deserves it. You know what I mean?
The debate over Canelo's willingness to take on tough opponents continues, with fans and analysts eagerly awaiting his next move.